Rocky Mountain Angels, Book 1 in the Rocky Mountain series, written by Jodi Bowersox, narrated by Jodi Bowersox. Chapter 1. It's nobody's fault, really. I mean, who knew the streets were so icy? Mary twirled her long black scarf around her neck, capturing the edges of her brunette curls in its grasp as she sat in the driver's seat of the moving van she had driven all day from Piedmont, Oklahoma to Colorado Springs, and even more precisely, Old Colorado City. And who knew there'd be a storm drain right there? She pulled her red wool peacoat tighter around her. She could already feel the color draining out of her fingers inside her black fuzzy mittens. She turned her head to address the howling feline in the cat carrier next to her on the seat. And I certainly never expected to slip and throw my purse in the air. She pulled off a mitten and tried to see how white her fingers had gotten with the help of a nearby streetlight. Darn it, this is not good. She rubbed the cat nose poking through a hole in the side of the carrier for a moment before slipping her mitten back on. Tucking her hands under her arms, she closed her eyes and tried to come up with a solution. Everything that could help her get into her new house was down that drain. Her house key, the van key, her phone, her money, her credit cards. Hit by a sudden revelation, she pounded the steering wheel. What idiots we are! Why do we keep everything in one place? How ridiculous is that? We might know at some point in our lives we would lose it. She turned back to the orange, long-haired tabby who was now trying to scratch her way through the bottom of her plastic prison. Talk about putting all your eggs in one basket. I should have spread things out a bit. Keys in my pocket, money in my boot, phone in my bra. She had a vision of boob dialing somebody inadvertently and decided her bra was not a good place for a phone. She pictured herself with a wide utility belt like Batman with all her accessories handy. Of course, she conceded, if I carried a huge bag like my mother, it would never have fit in the storm drain. Mary had always felt the need to make things fit together more compactly, more simplistically, and she silently cursed her love of small things. Glancing at the little house sitting silent and dark, she shivered from cold, exhaustion, and fear. Colorado Springs had seemed like the answer to her prayers, a place to finally step firmly onto a path that was right for her. But losing all forms of money, communication, and mobility in the first minute hardly seemed like a good sign. She gave a little moan as her toes started to go numb in her knee-high snow boots. The heater in the rental truck had quit about a half hour before reaching the city. She really didn't want to start knocking on doors, but she also knew she was already too cold to spend much more time outside. Staring into the night, she prayed, God, this isn't a real good start here in this new place, but I'd appreciate it if you could show me which door to knock on.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?